Pac-12 is dead, and it's all Larry Scott's fault. Back in 2011, after adding Colorado and Utah to expand to 12 teams, the former Pac-10 had to decide on whether to expand further, as a deal was on the table to add Texas, Oklahoma, Texas Tech, and Oklahoma State, all looking to leave a collapsing Big 12. Scott ultimately decided against expanding to 16 teams, and now, 2 years after his tenure ended, the conference was no more. Cal and Stanford, the last remaining viable contenders in the conference, were leaving for the ACC, and Black Rock State decided that travel expenses were no longer worth it and reached a deal with the MAC. Casper College, Oregon State, and Washington State were left as the last schools standing, but because I can't delete conferences in this game, they added Fresno State, San Diego State, Hawaii, and Boise State, and we'll just pretend it's just the other half of the Mountain West. The irony that the national championship was between USC and Utah, two former members of the conference, was not lost on anyone. The rise of the super conferences had claimed its first victim, but not its last. Conference USA had been barely afloat the previous 2 seasons, but with no schools making an impact, it was announced that CUSA would be folding. Middle Tennessee and Western Kentucky joined the MAC, while UTEP and Louisiana Tech decided to move to the Mountain West to rekindle their old WAC rivalries. The fate of Liberty and Monmouth were up in the air, but one more conference was about to implode from the ACC's newest expansion, the ACC. The 3 new additions had passed by a vote of 12-3, with the 3 no's coming from perhaps the conference's most important schools, Clemson, Florida State, and North Carolina. Not only were they opposed to the additional traveling expenses from adding West Coast teams to the Atlantic Coast Conference, all 3 had been rumored to be exploring their own exits before the expansion was finalized. While concessions on the media revenue had been made by the 3 incoming schools, the media rights deal was still viewed as lackluster, and discussions began between the opposed schools about moving on, talks that began to come to light over the next few weeks. When conference meetings were held, tensions were high, and rumors stated that a fistfight may have broken out at one point, though no one ever confirmed this incident. By the end of the spring, it was decided that a split was the best course of action. Clemson, Florida State, and North Carolina would stay together, while also retaining the name and history of the Atlantic Coast Conference. The rest of the teams would form a new conference, and decided to purchase the rights to the name Conference USA, as it seemed to fit the new direction of the schools. The new ACC quickly moved to add members, adding Army and Rutgers, who had no conference, Buffalo from the MAC, Navy from the American Athletic Conference, and also added Liberty and Monmouth, who had agreed to a smaller cut of the revenue since it was better for them than nothing. Syracuse was also swayed into remaining in the ACC, leaving the conference at 10 teams. While they tried to convince other schools, such as Duke and Florida, to leave the Power 4 conferences and join them, there was a lot of skepticism about the ACC 2.0 as essentially a patchwork conference held together by 3 programs and duct tape. That opinion was hard to argue when you looked to the bottom of the standings to see the Monmouth Hawks, a team with so little success that they actually held a parade for a 2-game winning streak. Nobody came except the janitor and those 2 stoners who hang outside the Quick Stop. One of those wins did lead to Oklahoma firing its head coach, meaning the Hawks caused some turmoil in the SEC at least. It also gave Coach Bean some much-needed job security, which was important as the team was now fodder for the conference's elite schools. Not wanting to accept this fate, Bean spent his offseason trying to maximize his team. On defense, he hoped his new defensive line recruits would improve the non-existent pass rush from the outside, at the very least keeping fresh bodies along the line to keep the pressure up. As for the offense, he wanted to try and gain an advantage over one of his new conference foes, leading him to switch to Florida State's playbook, as he hoped mastering their offense would help them defend it. Obviously, it would work the other way around as well, but his Jim Bro inner circle weren't smart enough to figure that out. With a season of experience under their belts and a few fresh faces that would hopefully fix their weaknesses, the Hawks set their sights on their most ambitious goal yet, finishing as the 80th best team in the nation. Hey, for this hilarious, pathetic collection of disappointment, it's a lofty goal. What's up, guys? I'm Shane, and welcome to the Year 2 off-season of our Monmouth Hawks Prestige Dynasty. Alrighty, yeah, we're going to the ACC. I don't know, like, there's so much changing, and I think there's even rumors, I don't know, by the time I'm recording this, Army may or may not be going to the American Conference. They're arguing over the Week 15 thing. I have no idea. At this point, like, this is my last sort of grasp on, like, what's actually happening in college football, and we're just gonna go straight into fiction from here. I really wish I could delete the conference, though. I hate the fact that I'm gonna have basically just put the best 6 teams I can think of in the Pac-12 and the other 6 in the Mountain West and just go from there. But I figured this is an interesting turn because it does seem like, I think in real life the ACC is gonna be fine. They're not gonna fracture off. But in my head, this is a nice way to deviate the plan. So before we go into the regular offseason, now again, like, we don't have to go over recruiting. Our recruiting's done. And speaking of that, though, going into next year, we are a 1-star school. We're staying a 1-star school. I looked at it a little bit at the end of the last episode, but we only finished number 104. We have to be at least in the 80s to think about even moving up to 2 stars. So I was way off on that. So we're going to be a 1-star school. Because of that, we're only going to have 10 scholarships for next season. But real quick, we'll look at stats and everything like that. We did actually have a couple of All-Americans. Not here, though. Just freshmen. Oh, wrong tab. So, Husky and McAllister, all freshmen. And then I believe we had, Bay made it as kick returner. Which probably means that we were just the only ones. All conference. Now, remember, there's barely any teams in our conference. And Bay made it as a returner, and that was it for first team. And then second team, McAllister did make it. That's it. Terrible year for us. Conference USA was awful, and we were the worst of the bunch. Oh, did we finish? I don't think we finished last, did we? No, because we won the tiebreaker with Liberty. But I mean, you know, like, look at the points against. Like, we put up a decent amount of points. We actually were number 4 in the conference, but we gave up more points than, like, the top 2 teams combined. All right, we'll look at season stats. We didn't have anyone on the awards list at all, by the way. We don't have to worry about that. So on the season, Husky, 224 for 404, 3,111 yards, 23 touchdowns, 19 picks. Hey, you know what? He finished with more touchdowns than picks. Rushing, McAllister, 649 yards, 12 touchdowns. That's pretty decent. Husky had 518, 3 touchdowns. Finns had 108 and 4 touchdowns. Receiving, King led the team, 56 for 844. See, even though I was cheesing it to McAllister half the time, he was dropping so many passes.
Hi.
Hi. I can't stand you and your freaking nerdy ass little wannabe weeaboo glasses.
Excuse you. My glasses are awesome.
They are awesome.
I have one crock right there. Where's the other one? She raided my closet.
Do you really think I care about where your Crocs are right now?
I found it! Well, you should, because I'm going to be in here until I find them. Look, it's like Cinderella. You're holding my shoe. But instead of a glass slipper, it's a yellow Croc. I love it. No, you're supposed to put it on me.
What's that line from Puss in Boots? You're a low-rent Cinderella?
That's rude. So rude.
Did they do a version of Cinderella where they were in the ghetto? I feel like they probably did.
First of all, I've never lived in the ghetto in my life. Is Springfield ghetto?
Yeah.
Oh.
Most places don't have drug dealers across the street from them with the drug house next door.
Yeah, they do.
No.
Yeah, they do.
That's a ghetto thing.
Okay, anyways. Send me the TikTok.
Okay, goodbye.
Hey, Shane.
I can't stand you.
Your daughter has all the dice except one.
That's a you problem right now. That's not a Shane problem. Tuggle had 48 for 595, 4 touchdowns. If I had played with 10 accuracy, these guys would probably have better stats. I forgot Tuggle's 6'6". We gotta use him more, man. I gotta figure out how to properly utilize him in the new playbook. McAllister, 45 for 575, 5 touchdowns. Hall, 37 for 632, 6 touchdowns. He led the team in touchdowns, actually. Bagley at 27 for 471, 2 touchdowns. Vassar, who I thought would be a bigger deal, had 27 for 442, only 1 touchdown. Finns had 9 for 88, 3 touchdowns. And then good job to the walk-on down here. But Strong Mad, 4 for 43. Edmund, who's our freaking cornerback, had 2 for 32. That's how it was going. Blocking, we managed 5-hole pancakes here as a team. And we gave up all the sacks. Except for Jason Todd. Jason Todd was... Well, he was a backup, so that's probably why. Capone led the team with 63 tackles. Bingus with 62. Sherman 59. King 50. Okay, that's not bad. Sherman led the team with 9 TFLs. Okay, well, out of our linebacker, that's weird. Roger with 8, Lesnar with 8, Reigns with 7, Horowitz 6, Wyatt with 6, and then Bingus, Burks, Edmund each with 3. King, he got 2. Small was clutch for us, and I hope I get to cut him after this. Bay with 2 TFLs, actually. Chuck Schilling got out here. Hey, 17 tackles. So the DJ winner got some play out here. Wyatt led a team with 5 sacks. I mean, if any defender was going to have, like, the chance at going for the DGA, it would be Wyatt or Roger. I think it'd be Wyatt. Roger was pretty good, too, though. He had 4 sacks. Lesnar with 3. And then Palmer, Small. Horowitz got 1. Sherman got 1. Bingus got 1. Roman Reigns got 1. Edmund and Bingus led the team with 2 picks apiece. Small, Horowitz, Bay getting 1. Lesnar forced and recovered the only fumble we had all year. Drew goes 4 for 5 on field goals. His longest was 32 that he barely made. I'm not going to lie. What I'm going to do is every kicker and punter that we could possibly, like every 1-star, except obviously JUCOs, I'm going to scout them. And we're going to try and replace Drew. And it'll be like the most impact player I think we can find at this point. Hey, Bay had almost 1,700 yards on kick returns. Average 24.6. It's not bad. Maybe if they had given him Burks and Edmonds, like those returns had stayed with him, maybe. 140 on punt returns. Now, they weren't punting against us very much, which is part of the problem. What are our school records anyways? I'd like to break all of these before the series is done. So 62 passing touchdowns. I think we can do that. What are we at? 24 already with Husky, and he still got 3 years to go. We can do that easily. 5 in a game. We'll probably explode at some point. Season 27. We almost did. Passing yards in a career. I mean, see, look at that. The season records, we were almost already there with 5 accuracy. Game, yeah, it's going to be tough. Receiving, career is only 26. 12 in a season. We are going to break all of these records by the end of the series. Receptions in the season is going to be the tough one. But I think we can break all those. Ooh, 17 interceptions in a career. I don't know about that, because 9 in a season. I don't think we've seen double digits on anyone. That one might not go. 3 in a game. Okay. That, probably not. 3 sacks in a game, probably. 14 in a season. We can do that easily. And 30 in a career. Rushing touchdowns for a career is 42. We've done that in a season. Rushing touchdowns in the season, 19 back in 1919? Utah State, what are you doing? You haven't stumbled into a single good halfback? We're going to shatter those potentially next season. Well, no, probably not. Good Lord, these records are nothing. It's not even going to be an accomplishment when we do it. Well, that's fun. So we're going to advance the week. We are at 100% job security. We're not getting canned. So we're going to jump forward. We got the 1 player leaving. And then we'll see if we get any transfers in. And then I'm going to... We'll get there if we get there. Okay, so we got a new offensive and defensive coordinator, which is interesting. I already know who our D coordinator is going to be. Because we got all these guys leaving. But guess what? Kyle King... He is a name player, so he's going to be our new DC. All right, so we'll jump to transfer requests. Let's see if we have any. Okay, so we have 5 people who want to transfer in here. Now, the problem is we only had 15 scholarships. They would be using 5 of the 10 scholarships that we were not allowed to use. Now, I can tell you I'm not going to take him. I'm not going to take him. But what I will do, because it's not going to cost us anything, is I'm going to accept these guys right here. I'm recording this in advance. Before you guys see this episode, you would have already voted on a poll that I'm going to do. And I'm going to leave it up to you guys. With the restrictions that I have, should I be allowed to accept these guys knowing they use up scholarships? Or should I just not be allowed to have them? I'm not going to cut recruits because I think that's kind of cheating. But if we only have, if we can just take the transfers, I'll take these 3. They'll sit for a year. They'll be better than anyone else we're going to be able to scout right now. But I'll leave that up to you guys whether or not I should be able to use them. I'm leaning towards no, we can't have them. But I'll leave it up to you guys. I always like leaving it up to you guys. All right, next week will be recruiting. I'm going to go there just to make sure that the computer doesn't screw up and sign some people I don't want. I'll save you guys just sort of the turmoil. We're going to have the number 126 class. And that's all it's going to be. So honestly, I'm just going to jump right into position changes. Alrighty, so I just finished position changes, and there's a couple players who snuck out of the roster that I have to cut after. But yeah, Roderick Ashley, obviously playing quarterback. That's a no-brainer. He's a pocket passer. So Underwood, he will be our halfback, and he's gonna be taking over for McAllister. Because he was just dropping a lot of passes. I wasn't really impressed, but so he's significantly faster. He's way more agile. Way better acceleration. Trucking he's better at slightly, which is I just go by what I use. So ball carrier vision is much better. I don't know if that actually helps me. Stiff arm he's worse, but I don't stiff arm. Spin move he's better, which is what I do. Juke he's a little bit worse, but not that much. Carrying a little bit, but better hands for sure. Still not great, but the best hands out of our entire receiver room. And fullback it'll still be Jimmy Fince. Wide receivers, I actually moved Vassar over here, which sucks because if King wins the DGA, I don't know where he's going to be. Herman doesn't really count, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4. And then Hall and Bagley, might not really see the field. Sorry, guys. Tight end, so I moved the fullback over here because 80 speed, but only 67 agility, so not great. 86 excel. But what I'm looking at is that he's got 72 catch in traffic. Terrible route running, though. But I can work with that. And then having Ford here, who's a lot slower, better route runner, and slightly better hands. And that's why I'm let me move Vassar over. Put him at wide receiver. Offensive line. It's funny, Alexander theoretically should be the starter because he's 68 overall. Bibu Bapu is only a 62. Even if he gets decent training results, he probably, unless he gets a natural +7, he's not going to overtake Alexander. But I think I'm just going to redshirt him anyways. Especially since we're not going to be bringing in any better recruits this year. They're at least going to have to get 1 year starting. I think I'd rather just redshirt him and give myself that extra bit of time. Because I think 68 overall left tackle, and realistically, I can move him to center. Would he gain 1 or 2 points? He'd gain a point. I can move him around. He's only losing a point going over to the guard position. But he has the potential to be a 4-year starter, even with the better recruits coming in, assuming we get the 2 stars. So I'd rather redshirt him and have him be the best possible player he can be. All the other offensive line positions will be, a redshirt. This guy, Marcus Crosby, a JUCO that showed up out of nowhere. We're going to have to cut him. And yeah, everyone else will just be a backup. Easily. That's not, that big of a deal. I'm just going to have Rosario back up at both spots. And we'll go from there and hopefully build the depth. D tackles, Roger and Wyatt. Wyatt had a real good year, 5 sacks for us, and now he's potentially number 4 on the depth chart. Well, no, because he'll get he'll get at least a +3. He'll overtake Folks. So I guess that's not that big a deal. And then linebacker, we didn't go after anyone other than Wilkerson's going to be coming off his red shirt, so he'll be good to go. Chuck Schilling, he'll just be the floating backup. It's okay. And then cornerbacks, we got Robinson and Hickman here. But I'm assuming Edmund and Burks will get, they just have to get a +1 and they'll overtake them. Bay might be stuck here at number 5, though. We got Dominique Bird here, who, again, another one who showed up out of nowhere, but he's a 60 overall sophomore. So I don't really want him anyways. He's worse than these 2 that we brought in. So yeah, we're gonna keep the changes there. And let's jump forward, see the training results. Hopefully something good. King, I believe, is going to get the Deshaun Gaddy Award unless he gets a +7, and then we'll go from there. Maybe Wyatt. I don't know. All right, well, Wall got himself some good training results, so that's a nice start. Husky gets a +3. Williams gets a +6. He's the same as the damn walk-on now. That is upsetting. I'm hoping he'll get better training results and maybe some awareness boosts. This year he got a +4 awareness. Like, maybe with the 10 accuracy this season, maybe he'll stand a better chance. McAllister got a +4. That's okay. Stratton's catching him though. He'll come in. He'll still see the field. He'll be the backup. Jimmy Finn's getting a +4. I don't know how much of the field he'll see. I don't know how much the fullback sees the field in most of these playbooks. The Cheetah's grounded got a +4 on his red shirt. Okay, Vassar got a +5, so he moved over. That went well. Tuggle got a +4. King only a +3. So yeah, he'll get the DGA. So that'll put him up to a 64 overall. That'll put him as the number 2 receiver. Vassar, number 3. Tuggle. The Cheetah's grounded should probably be our slot guy, though. I'll play around with it. Hall and Bagley getting respectable +4s. They'll probably still see the field. Strong Mad got a +4. 54 speed. Still terrible. Bapu got a +4. He's not as good as the freshman. He'll still be starting. It's okay. +4 for Harden. Oh, that's right. Harden's only a junior. He wasn't a senior. He was the only JUCO. That's right. I forgot. So he's around for one more year. Sam Wall, yeah, +6 is incredible. 80 overall, the best player on our team by far. Ruffin got a +4 to get to a 70. Solo only got a +3. He's barely better than the freshman there. Like, both our tackles would be better off playing the freshman. But I'm not going to do it. Lesnar a +5. All right, that's pretty good. Rain's only a +3. Well, I mean, at least he'll get his jersey number. Oh, shoot, I forgot we had other players there. That's right, Sherman, who kind of doesn't really exist, +4. Buckshank a +5. I don't even remember saying his name this past season. I'm sure he got playing time. I just don't remember him doing anything. Roger a +4. Wyatt got a +5. He didn't need DGA after all. We're good. Horowitz got a +4. Okay, nice to see. Wilkerson a +4 on his red shirt. Binga's a +4. Schilling a +3. Sherman got a +3. So, respectable linebackers. You know, we're only going to need 2 of them, I think. Burke's a +4. Edmund a +3. Bay got a +4, actually. He's like, I don't want to go down without a fight. I'll have to look. I still might have the new guys starting over him. Just because he is our kick returner, so at least he sees the field that way. Capone got a +4. This guy got a +5. Yeah, I mean, I guess if I get to keep the transfers, it won't be bad. Drew got a +4. Did he get anything to his kick power, though? He got a +4? Okay, so maybe we can make a 35-yard field goal this year. All right, cutting players. Well, this will be pretty easy. Gotta cut 18 people, which is fine. So I gotta cut the free safety off the bat. Do I just cut Williams? No, I think I'm gonna need the third option. God, he's a 70 throw power, 6'6 accuracy. He's so bad. He's so bad. But yeah, we'll keep him. We can look at these guys here. Okay, cuts are done. I basically just trimmed like 1 off each position. So custom conferences, I'm gonna go play around with that for a minute. Reset the skill tree of Joey Beans because I was putting stuff into his game day performance and I need that back in his recruiting. For what reason? I don't know. I don't even want these recruits, but I might as well keep going that way. Actually, you know what? Screw it. I might put it all into the on-field stuff and say forget the recruiting. So we are now in the preseason. I went through. I gave D'Angelo King. Wrong King. Gave him the Deshaun Gaddy Award, so he's up to 64 overall. I corrected Roman Reigns, so he's number 1 now. We're not going to bother going over the recruiting board. It's all kickers and punchers. That's all I did. I found a couple guys who were better than Morris Drew, but unfortunately, like with training results, he'll probably be equal to them next year. So I'm not really sure how that's gonna work out, but I still have more people to scout. Red shirt, I just went through redshirted all of the offensive linemen that I was talking about. I went back and forth on a couple other people, but I'd rather have the depth. So I didn't bother redshirting anyone else. And then obviously, you know how the depth chart is gonna go. No real surprises there. But let's take a look at the schedule real quick. And a couple bye weeks here in the beginning so I can take care of the recruiting board before I record the next episode, which will be like 3 weeks from now. But we'll open up the season against BlackRock. I didn't want to go for FCS, but this is like the next best thing because they're presumably still pretty bad. But we need to play some better competition still. Then we'll have another bye. We'll be home for Oklahoma. They're probably going to smoke us this time. We got lucky, but I think like if Casper turned Nebraska into their de facto rival, I feel like Oklahoma is going to be ours. So might as well keep scheduling them. Then our actual only rivalry game against Utah, the defending national champs. We'll get smoked. And we'll go to conference play. We'll take Army and Navy back-to-back, which is terrifying. Then the national champion from a couple years ago, North Carolina. Then we'll go Rutgers. And then we got a 5-game stretch here where we're on the road. These auto schedules are killing me, man. I got to get rid of these 16-team conferences because I'm sick of playing in Week 15. I'm just kind of sick of how this is looking, but we'll go at Buffalo, at Syracuse. So, I mean, hey, 3 straight games where we're going to be in that New York, New Jersey area. Then we'll go at Florida State, at Liberty, finish off the season against Clemson. Clemson's not ranked, which is scary to me because they're probably still like a 95 overall school at least. So we've still got 4 top 25 schools in here. Plus, I mean, like, Clemson probably will be. And it wouldn't shock me if Army or Navy or Oklahoma or Rutgers even managed to crawl their way in there by the end of the season. So, like, we got a B strength of schedule. And honestly, if I took BlackRock off the schedule, it would jump up to a B+. But I'm okay with that. That's still a pretty tough schedule considering where we are as a school. And then our overall, I don't think it's going to be a big jump because really we didn't... like, our overall jump is going to be based on training results more than new players being added on. So, let's jump into the regular season. Right, I'm done here. Yep. And let's see what our overall is before we wrap this episode up. All right, conference outlook. We're actually not projected to be in last place. So that's the North Carolina 99, so 91 for Florida State, 91 for Syracuse, 86 for Rutgers. Yeah, Clemson 95. Called it. Navy's an 81. Buffalo's an 81. I gotta look at their roster, make sure they got some decent players. And us coming in 8th place in the projections. 57s across the board. Okay, slow progress, but I'll take it. Army's a 77, Liberty's a 75. And just for ha-has, I want to see what I signed myself up for. BlackRock, I would assume, is going to be at the bottom. They're not quite at the bottom, 75. And I'm just going to check a couple. I want to see what Casper's looking like. Casper's 86. They're doing okay. You know, they're around. Oklahoma's dead last in the SEC here. 91 overall, and that's dead last. Texas A&M is a 99. Oh my God. Alabama, LSU, Texas. Good luck. Good luck to the SEC, man. Georgia's a 99 across the board. Holy hell. Kentucky's a 95. Afterthought. 95 overall school is an afterthought. Whew, this is going to be, it's going to be rough, but like Liberty, we beat them last year. Army, I mean, it's that triple option. If we can shut that down, just play goal line defense, then we got them wrapped up. Navy, Buffalo, they're the same. Like, we have a chance. We need to realistically go 4-8 or even 5-7 if we have any chance of getting a 2 stars next year. So let's see how this season goes. Or I might have bitten off more than I can chew. Charlie's the leader. All right, Wilkerson. There you go, bud. I want to look, because we had some preseason All-Americans. Were we all-conference or actual All-Americans? Yep, Bay is all-NCAA first-team returner for the preseason. Bingus is second team. He's not even our starter anymore. All right, how about all-ACC? What do we got? McAllister, also not a starter. Freaking LeBourne and Fronznak. I hate that guy. He's going to kill us this year. Bingus. And I would assume, yep, Bay. And anyone second team? Yeah, King. DGA winner, 64 overall. I got to change him to number 17. Wyatt, who, he's still number 2. And Capone make it. Okay, so some All-Americans here. All right, so this season, yeah, we're aiming for 4 to 5 wins. That's what we got to go for, and I think we'll be okay. Especially in this conference, I think we'll get jumped up just out of ha-has. I'm assuming 126 is across the board on championship contenders. No, we're starting off at 112, and we actually go up to 120 in 2019. Progress. We got to jump up 32 spots by the end of the year. Basically, we're Duke and Appalachian State are? Eesh. That's the state of getting 2 stars. Okay. Well, App State's going to fall off next year. I guess that makes sense. I don't know. But that will wrap this one up. We're going to start Season 3 next year. We're going to hopefully take care of BlackRock. It'd be nice to start off with a win. Realistically, we got to look at BlackRock and Liberty have to be wins. And then we got to pull off 2 to 3 other victories somewhere in the season. We upset Oklahoma. Again, I don't see that happening again. But, like, if we can stop the triple option, Army and Navy are manageable games. Buffalo, they've been shootouts. Or at least last year was a shootout. So, like, if we can pull off the upset there, those would be 5 wins right there. Or if we blow one of those games and, like, pick up something. We got to get to 5 wins. That's the big thing. And I'm hoping Husky can get it done. But that'll wrap this one up. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked the video, please be sure to hit like down below. If you want to see more from me, be sure to subscribe. Hit that notification bell, get it delivered directly to your inbox every single time I upload. Any thoughts, suggestions, whatever you may have, leave it all down in the comments section below. Everything you leave down there, I will always respond to, unless you are the trolliest of trolls. Thank you guys for watching. I'm Shane. I'm out.